Okay, today we're going to be talking about something that's called demand surcharge. So I think I have a way to avoid this for many people. So let me explain what basically my background is here. I am an installer for Starlink and security cameras and other things security related. You're going to see all that in future videos. So I have a lot of cottagers. Probably 80 to 90% of my business is cottagers that are not here year round. Many of them are only here for 6 months. Some of them do come year round, sometimes in the winter. This is a very real thing that I have to think about as I'm responsible for these people. They're my clients. The word has come out, and Dishy Tech did a video on this, and we're going to link to it at the end. It's very informative. I'm not going to get into all the technical stuff because I think he totally nailed it. But if this is going to be something that's relevant to you, definitely check out that video after this one. If you're interested in getting the free Starlink or even the Roam one for that matter, use our link below and you get a free month of service, and it helps us out because we get a free month of service too, so we really appreciate that. I need to make sure I don't make a mistake and have my customers sign up on certain plans or whatever, and then come back next year and get nailed with a $1,500 surcharge because the area all of a sudden got designated into high demand, which is very possible here. So there's a very real possibility that this area does get designated at some point as high demand. As part of my job, I need to make sure I don't get my customers into a position where they get dinged unnecessarily. So I'm going to explain my workaround, what I'm going to tell them, and I'm going to give you specific examples as to how they might apply to you, but my math is not going to be the same as your math. I'm going to give you a basic amount as I've got it figured out. I'm not going to include tax or whatever because you're going to have to do your own math based on the plans, and we'll go over all that. How it worked before is you bought the dish. So this is last spring. If you wanted it last spring, you would have bought the dish. You would have paid $500 Canadian, $350 American, and you would have activated it for the 6 months or whatever you wanted. And then because you owned the dish, then you could turn it on the standby mode. So then when you come back this year, probably no problem. It's probably just going to be able to be reactivated. But now we're finding out about this. If you go to reactivate it in certain places, hopefully not here, that there's going to be this demand surcharge. It's a necessary thing. I understand why they're doing it, but they used to say that if you're on standby mode that you didn't have to pay this. Your spot in line was being held for you. Now they've reversed that, and Starlink, not cool. Especially because you did it sneakily. You didn't tell people this was coming. You had them paying for standby mode. They might as well just have canceled it. So how do I want to get around this? Now there are two choices for my customers. They can do the same thing. They can buy the dish and they can activate it, use it for 6 months, and then put it on the standby mode and hope for the best. So the workaround is if you get the free rental dishes, the rental dish comes with you have to use it for 12 months. So you have to keep it active for 12 months. Let's do a little math on this before we get too far ahead. So remember, my numbers might be a little off because I'm not sure about the promotions and stuff like that. But so if I buy the dish, I'm paying $500 and I'm paying $70 a month. Keep in mind this is Canadian, but you got to do your own math. 6 months at $70 is $420. Plus, I'm guessing $42 worth of standby fees because it's $7 a month. So if it's on standby for 6 months, that's going to be $42. And I'm not sure if you get the free month or any of the promotional pricing if you buy the dish because it's not really baked into the site that way, at least here. It might be in your area, so check into it. So anyway, total comes out to $962. If we get the free rental dish, first of all, the dish is costing us zero. And we get 4 months at $50 a month right now. These promotions are probably going to change every month, but right now that's where it's at. $50 a month for 4 months is $200. One of those months is going to be free because of the promotion. So that knocks it down to $150 total in the promotion period. Then it's 8 months at $70, which is going to bring us to $560. So that's going to be a grand total of $710. Basically $250 cheaper, and it's on year round. Why am I going to recommend this to people? First of all, it's cheaper. But at the same time, too, you're like, well, who owns the dish after the year's up? Well, technically, Starlink does. They can ask for it back, but I don't know with them. They change stuff all the time. But here's the catch. So we're saying that May 1st is when we're going to activate this because that's only a couple weeks from now. So if you activate it on May 1st and you do this obligation for 1 year, where are you going to end up a year from now? You're going to end up at May 1st, and you're going to be on month to month. So now you're not under any kind of agreement. So now you got another 6 months that you can have it on for the $70 a month or whatever the price is, but it's probably going to still be $70. So then when you get to the end of the cottage season, now you're into September or October or whatever you want to shut it off. Well, now we're a year and a half from now. And you didn't run the risk of having this demand surcharge put on you because you kept the thing active the whole time. Now, a year and a half in the technology world with satellites is a long time. By the time you get through this year and a half, I guarantee you things will be different. The capacity is going to be way more, and possibly some competitors will be in place. So that's the way that you're going to protect yourself long term, and it's actually going to be cheaper. Okay, so now let's talk about plans and the Mini with the Roam as well. So the Roam, you can put it on standby and you don't have to worry about a demand surcharge coming on that. But as the network gets more congested, you're going to have the lowest priority. I believe it's the lowest, but you're going to have less priority than the residential plans for sure. What that means is that a residential unit is always going to have a preferential over a Roam. So if you're in a highly congested area, this may slow down. Can't do anything about that. So now let's talk about congestion and the plans real quick here. There are other people that do videos on this that are very technical people. I don't even want to get into that. I'm an installer. I got it from a totally different perspective. I work for the customers. I have no loyalty to Starlink, neither do they, from what I can tell. But I'm going to tell you from an installer, as in these are my clients. I have to deal with hundreds of them. If I give them bad advice, it can really bite me. So I have to do my homework on this stuff. So we have now 3 residential plans here. Might be different in your area. Make sure you check. We're going to have our link down below for the referral codes. If you just click on that, you put in your address information, then it's going to give you what's available in your area. So we have a residential 100, 200, and max here. So our other video goes into more specifics on that. You can check that out if you want to get into all of that stuff. This is more about this particular topic here being the demand and the priorities and stuff. It stands to reason that the more money you're paying, it's going to give you the higher priority. That's exactly how it works. So if you absolutely cannot screw around and you're using it for work, your livelihood depends on it or whatever, get the max. The max residential is going to give you the highest priority without getting into the really expensive high priority stuff. As soon as you go down into the middle one and the bottom one, I do not know if there's going to be any difference in them, but I will tell you if the area does get congested, that's where the speed is going to start to slow down on you. For normal household, probably doesn't matter. You just, you'll still be able to watch Netflix or whatever, but I wouldn't risk my livelihood on it as far as, Zoom calls and anything important like that. Okay, so what are the plans here? You got your 100 megs of download, and then your 200 megs of download, and then your max is 300 to 400. Upload is gonna possibly vary. It's gonna be a minimum of 10 on the smallest plan, and we've speed tested over 40 on the max plan that we have. So it's gonna be somewhere in there. That's more than enough for most people. But the main factor is, once again, if there's congestion, are you gonna be affected by it? Because whenever there's congestion, it's gonna be probably in the middle of the day or just in the evening or whatever. If your livelihood depends on it, I would not recommend messing around. I would just get the maximum plan. That way you're a priority customer. Like I said before, a lot of my customers are cottagers and all they're doing is watching Netflix. So for them, the small plans are fine. Okay, so anyway, if you have any questions or comments, certainly put them down below. We are learning a lot and getting us the direction in which to do research by the comments, people helping us out. And before we go, when you order it, you have to consider the mount and the cable. So first things first, you get a cable that's 50 feet that comes with it. If that's not going to be enough, then make sure you order a longer cable. We'll have the links down below because it can be a real pain when you're a couple feet short. And then with the Starlink Gen 3, does not have a mount with it. So we have a whole video on mounts. So if you're getting serious into getting one of these, check out the video on the mounts and maybe a couple of the installation videos. Do your homework before you get the thing. That way you know what you're up against. Thank you. And if we have saved you some money and helped you out or whatever, maybe you might consider going to our Buy Me a Coffee and giving us a small donation to help us with our channel. And I definitely want you to go, if you're interested in this subject, and check out the Dishy Tech video because it's very informative. And then we'll link maybe our mount video below it. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.